AHQ, you're going to have Green T and Zero helping out to the draft in the coaching role. And as well with Nova, Warlock's going to be leading that charge as our first ban coming through. It's going to be the Elise.
I wonder if we're going to have the same copy pasta bans from the previous week. I mean,
Aphelios, Senna, Ornn, Red.
Ornn.
Yeah.
Ornn has been adjusted.
Again
for the nth time since he's been very, very strong and competitive.
Like, to be honest, like, AHQ has only played the Ornn once. They only played it in their most recent
That
game.
is true.
So, like, I don't know. I was hearing with Warlock and them, they were looking back on the drafts and saying, oh, you know, maybe we don't have to ban that. We'll see. I'm interested to see what they decided to go with. Another ban, though, coming out toward G4, actually. It's going to be the LeBlanc. And, oh, the Zoe is actually going to be banned out here by Nova. So they're pretty much saying, all right, AHQ, what do you wish to do? Well, AHQ, they say, we don't want to play with Ornn or Senna, so we're going to get rid of the Senna, and we dare you not to ban the Ornn.
Yeah, understandable ban against Uniboy. He has performed really, really well. Again, crazy KDA numbers, and almost impossible to kill. We'll see if they can actually try to force this nice matchup with G4. So that, we'll see if HQ either bites the set or perhaps give 2 power picks to Nova, which I guess if they want to pick Ornn.
But it is Rocky.
It's Rocky.
Renekton's open. He doesn't like playing that Ornn. That does allow the option if AHQ wants to also pick up the Ornn and say put it mid or something. But you got a lot of AD and just base stats at that point. But Rocky's going to lock in the Renekton in response to the set that was locked in earlier here. And all right, for Nova, maybe doing a shift of mentality, going to get rid of trying to get all those utility carries like they were playing in week 2. And they say, Mixed Cross, we need you on something with a lot of damage in team fights.
This is going to be the first time we'll be seeing Mixed Cross on the Misfortune. So I suppose it's a good kind of takeaway as well from Waco. He has played it thrice. Meanwhile, Kongya is going to be on that Olaf, which is, I believe...
That's new for AHQ. They have not played the Olaf
yet. Oh,
they
did. I think they did like one game, just one game.
Oh, just one game. Oh, yeah, they played it against Liab. They were the ones who picked it against Liab. That's why it was so weird. I was like, there was an Olaf in the Liab game. Oh, wait. Liab wasn't playing.
That was the one.
That was the secret. Syndra, though, going to get locked in here for AHQ. Interesting that they're showing Uniboy's mid lane pick already, actually. Usually they save that until the second round. And also showing a Syndra this early. That gives some options here for G4 if they want to go for a direct counter. They did get rid of the LeBlanc, though, as well as the Zoe, but there's still a couple more options, and we'll have to see what they decide here as it's going to tick down to the last second.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Brave picks. Ooh, picking that Echo. I think this is the second time we're seeing an Echo.
Second time we're seeing an Echo.
Echo.
First time seeing it on Nova.
First time seeing it on Nova. The first time we've seen Echo was, I believe, from Resurgence. It was played by Raven. Yes, sir. So now we're heading over to the second rotation of bans. This is interesting. So they are opting to ban out the Thresh against Ysera here, which in Topsy-Turvy land, it's usually Top who's getting that direct ban of that Thresh. So now in the meantime, Leona would still be open, which could be a contested pick between these two. Although Braum has been very important, especially if you're going up against a Misfortune here. We'll have to see.
I'm interested. You got rid of that Nautilus too, as well as the Yuumi and Thresh. Okay, so this is Nova pretty much saying, all right, you get rid of the Leona, then we're just going to go ahead and take the Braum at this point. They might as well lock it in. They still haven't locked in their jungle. But it doesn't seem to matter, as they're going to go ahead, pick up the Braum, so that can't be used against them as on the same side as the Misfortune. And for HQ, what do you got left as far as support goes here? What else?
Tom Kench.
Yeah, the Kench is still available. Kench with Varus.
Yeah,
easy.
That works. That definitely works. Now, for Nova Esports, though, makes me wonder what jungle would they use? I mean, there's a ton open. There's only one banned champion on the jungle side. For me, I'd really favor Sejuani for Nova Esports. They got a strong team fight here if they do want to force that in. Our Jarvan actually is pretty much open.
You can do Jarvan. You got the bullet time combo available as well.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, so I heard they may pick this one up into AHQ. if the Olaf is locked in, so the idea is pretty much Olaf ults, well, you ult the Olaf, and then he's extremely squishy at that point. I would have preferred having a little bit more CC, though, when it comes to your team fights. You're seeing a lot of pick potential, like you're going to have Renekton. You're pretty much relying on Rocky to find a really good flank onto AHQ and try and attack the backline. Because other than that, there's not really any heavy engage on the side of Nova.
That is true. You'll be, if you want to gank bot lane, you'll probably try to rely on the slows and the stack stuns from Braum, to proc the stuns rather. So it may not be the most reliable one, but in terms of early game damage, or especially during the mid game, I think it pretty much works in the style of Nova Esports.
I think we actually saw this exact pairing in the one game we saw Echo actually being played. It was with a Trundle against a Syndra, if I recall correctly.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
And pretty much what we said about Resurgence is they needed to actually attack this mid lane. Now, whether or not they're going to be able to do that themselves, different question. I expected. Ryan's been very proactive on the map, so I think this mid lane is going to be the main focus when it comes to Nova's early to mid game. We'll see how AHQ respond to it as we're going to go ahead and load on to the red for game 1.
I am looking forward to this match. Again, region-wise, way back. It's been a long time, but now we're seeing HQ again, the undefeated monster of the PCS and Nova Esports. The pride of Thailand here.
The pride of Thailand. The pride? Is that, well, like, Mega was like the pride of Thailand.
That is true. They're about to make...
I think the pride of Thailand has to go back to, like, Bangkok Titans.
Bangkok Titans. BKT times.
Literally was the name of the team.
And the thing was, BKT went up against HQ back then, and they got 3-0'd in the quarterfinals.
Well, now you're just destroying their hopes and dreams. You already do it to Liab. Come on, the poor Nova boys.
What am I doing to the former LST teams? What am I doing, Opal?
Oh, it's fine. It's Ryan just dancing on an axe, Ryan. I don't know if you want to be dancing like that. Come on. I get, you know, it's the first game of the day. You gotta be relaxed. But come on. Almost the end of the round robin. For Nova, this is a very important game if they can pick it up. I think it helps them out when they're looking toward trying to get a bye into the playoffs. Because right now, if you fall here, you go 2-5, and then you only have 2 more games of your round robin left.
That is tricky.
Which I think they still have to play against one good squad and one bad squad, if I have to recall. I say bad.
Bad squad.
I don't mean to say bad in that term. Because let's say they went up against HKA, they went against Liav, Machi. Okay, so they still have to go against Virginia.
And Resurgence.
And no, they already played Resurgence.
Oh, they've played Resurgence already. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else they still need to play. We have 10 teams in this league.
Yes, we do.
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
I like this contest.
This is hard. You have to think about the info we have and like, who else is still not played yet? We still have to play against Alpha.
Yeah, that one.
Which is happening this week. That's why Alpha isn't at our studio this week.
Okay.
Because we don't have that much studio. They're in a different studio. They're playing. They're still in Thailand actually. So I guess we have a mini battle of Thailand. Sort of. It's like it's you know, it's a Taipei organization just being situated in Thailand right now, due to of course the current climate within Southeast Asia as a whole. So understandable. Yeah. So they still have to go up against Virginia, which honestly Virginia isn't all that bad.
Yes.
Last week they were actually able to pick up an upset. So I think for Nova, you lose here. There's a possibility that you might be ending your first round robin with only 2 or 3 wins.
It is going to be tricky.
Ain't all that good.
Well.
AHQ on the other hand, you know, they don't really care what happens. Well, they do care.
They do care.
They think it's going to be a win. If they lose this one, it's not end of the world. They're 6-0. They just lose their undefeated streak.
It would be nice, though, to end the round robin in with an undefeated streak. It happens almost all the time in summer spring splits of either the LMS or LST.
Yeah, LST it did. Mega only dropped 1 game, but they didn't drop a series because we were playing best of still. So as far as matches go, they did not drop any. But they dropped 1 game in the final. And that was against Axis, if I recall. Which again was in itself one of the weirdest things in the world. Did they drop one against Axis, or were they close to dropping it?
Because if they did, then it could be like history repeats itself. Because like I think Ascension lost one game against Kuala Lumpur Hunters back then against the Malaysian squad again.
I might be trolling. They may have not actually lost a single game in spring. That might be a possibility.
That's how scary they were.
You know
Mega
what's scary is that Trundle skin. That's bloody terrifying.
Infernal Trundle. I am not
like
sure actually.
Bloody Diablo or something. Jeez. Gets the wings. If I recall, the club is like a dragon. It's like an elder dragon head or something, which is just nuts. What's going on with the skin department? It's getting barbaric.
I mean, it's perfect for a Trundle. It's supposed to look that way. Unless
I guess.
I think it's I think it's one of the infernal ones.
I think this is the infernal chroma of his Dragon Slayer one. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
His base one is the Elder Drake.
So the purplish one then.
Yeah, it's kind of purple, blue, grayish. Other than that, though, not a whole lot happening on the map. I expect, around that level 6, we should see G4 and Ryan try and make something happen in the mid lane.
Yeah. I mean, Uniboy has been very wary about the mid lane. And therefore, which is the most understandable play. We have seen this particular setup between in that Resurgence game. And if the pressure keeps up, if you extend a little bit, you're going to be in trouble and forced to burn a flash or maybe even cost your death. And now we might see the first gank of the game.
Or not.
Not. Nah.
You're like, oh, all right, let's go. And it's like, wait a sec.
Nope.
Nothing's happening. Just going to get some vision down. Oh, didn't see Kangye. They will see the blast cone, though. They put down a word. They know where he is now. Let's see. Nova want to try and start this one up. They got priority down in bot lane. G4 is still... He's still trying to push in mid. It looks like he's able to get the push in, but that's enough for Nova to have to back off. A nice trade going over to G4. He's going to get a little bit back damage from the Scatter of the Week, but all is good here as he gets a little nice trade on Uniboy. He is starting to fall a little bit behind in CS, though, which is kind of a concern here for G4.
Yep. Very, as expected in this matchup, I'll have to try to seg away from all the Cinder Balls that Uniboy will lay on the ground. But for now, it seems to me Nova Esports, this is a different music that they're dancing to. Because normally, Nova Esports would like to probably just give away the first 2 dragons or maybe even the Rift Herald and fight later. So maybe this is a different shift in styles and where they want to try to deny that away from AHQ because they just really don't want to give more AHQ more resources.
Kong is going to come on over. G4 is caught out, does have his ultimate available. A decent amount of damage going to come on back. Has himself that parallel convergence coming through, but unfortunately, he can't do it. There's a Kench also in the mid lane. Zet came on down. Poor G4. It's first blood over to AHQ. 4 members come in and say hi, and there's no sign of Ryan or Co nearby.
If 3 ain't enough, make that 4. And it was just a great it was just a great timing because that was the time when the first back of the support of AHQ, so Isera. That's great bait as well. I think G4 wanted to take this fight, but he extended a little bit. But yeah, I think it was a reverse bait. Oh wait, no, because Ryan was all the way up top.
Yeah, no, Ryan's nowhere near. G4 is... He took a sweet time getting out of there. Unfortunately, he gets brought back with a face breaker, haymaker with the combo on the Kangye, and that's a dead G4 to start things off, and that's kind of the exact opposite of what I expected Nova to try and do here, as Ryan and Pop prefer to go ahead and try and force the Cloud Drake. That's going to be Chain of Corruption coming out. Pop is going to soak up a decent amount of damage. Meanwhile, Uniboy caught out toward the side. Pillar comes on down. G4 without ultimate, though. Mixed Cross is going to be caught out. Flashes away. Has to cleanse as well. Exhaust is through. So is the arrow, as well as a heal coming out. Mixed Cross is able to survive. Flash out coming through from the Olaf. As Kongya really wanted to try and get a kill, but they were pretty healthy overall.
Interesting. I could feel their blood boiling there in that mini clash after the Dragons. Probably wanted to get at least a consolation prize, at least 1 kill after investing so much.
That was a big investment, all right.
It was. And I guess Nova Esports moving towards this Rift Herald as well. This is a different Nova Esports. I've I haven't seen this before.
I have to ask what's going on with Ryan. Ryan's 2 levels down in this jungle matchup, and he hasn't died yet. So he's been a bit ineffective with his jungle pathing. Like, you're a Trundle, you should be able to keep up. Let's see. Oh, no. That's unfortunate timing. Oh, Ryan doesn't have Smite. He has to give that up. Is he seriously going to try and go around and try and pick this up?
Nova's there.
Oh, here comes Nova. That's going to be the showstopper coming through, but it's going to be secured in favor of AHQ as Nova, a bit ugly on the execution here as Kungya is just going to walk up, take the Rift Herald. Easy as that. Nova just give that away.
Right, that was interesting. 2 levels below Kongye. And not very sure what happened there, but because of that, he couldn't really try to contest the Rift Herald. I mean, it was almost genius because he wasn't detected at that point. But
almost.
then
Almost,
but not quite.
That's always, you know, little asterisks coming on there. Almost.
Oh well. I mean, you even had Rocky pressuring topside. It just so happens I think Ziv came from the back and wanted to go the long way out or the long way back, and therefore he was detected. But now they do. Kongye, or rather HQ, did get their first Rift Herald. Now the question is where they're going to put that, where they want to invest that to. Perhaps top side as usual. They do want to keep Rocky on a tight leash, as if he's unleashed, then he's pretty scary later on, especially if you give him room to grow. We'll see, because he's ahead in 20 CS or so against Ziv in the top side. So perhaps that is the plan.
Now that is custom though for Rocky. Rocky likes playing super aggressive in lane, and usually he isn't punished. He was camped, actually. I think it was the JT game. He was camped pretty hard, but they weren't able to slow him down too much. So interesting that we haven't seen AHQ actually try and make a round up there. Instead, it was more focused toward the midsection of the map and getting that Rift Herald early. At least taken away from Nova's attempt. This bot lane, we haven't seen a whole lot of action either. It was a little bit of a tussle in through the jungle. The Olaf is nearby, but not really going to try and force anything, as Rocky's maybe looking for a roam. But he's on top of a ward here, so he gets caught out.
Really nice vision from AHQ, so therefore denying any sort of aggression from Nova Esports, especially coming from Rocky, who does want to get ahead during the early phases of the game. But now that could be a 3-man dive for Civ if it goes well.
See, 3 members. They're making the pings out there. Civ now is going to see that G4 is coming over, and with that, that should be the tower going down. Oh no, Mixed Cross. Oh, he's caught out toward the side. There's going to be the ton into the axe, and unfortunately, Mixed Cross gets caught out. That's an easy pickup there for AHQ, and with the Rift Herald in hand, that should be first tower going down here.
Yep, Suri, special delivery, and Mixed Cross unfortunately didn't have flash at the time as well, so perfect timing by AHQ, and clean plates taken. Again, HQ first Rift Herald, first tower as well. Yep, that would be first tower. I don't think Nova Esports wanted to contest that, as mid lane was already pushed, so G4 had to go back at some point.
Yeah, this is a little awkward now for Nova. You find yourselves over 3,000 gold down at 12 minutes off just 2 kills. And that's with Rocky having a pretty substantial CS lead up in the top lane. I'm a little concerned now, because also Mixed Cross is going to start falling behind just because he got killed overall. HQ are looking really good this game. Nova kind of seem, I hate to say it, they're kind of dead fish right now. They're not really doing a whole lot. They're just kind of flopping around like a Magikarp using Splash. I'm not seeing anything. They had at least the Cloud Drake. Ryan tried to go for Rift Herald, but outside of that, we have not seen anything from the jungle.
That's true. Gotta praise AHQ's vision control. Not allowing any sort of aggression, especially on G4's side. Kongye managed to keep mid lane taken care of, so props to the jungle of HQ as well. Now that the next dragon has spawned, which is the Earthquake, let's see what the plan is in mind, because AHQ already opened up bot side, therefore Nova Esports kind of lost control over that area, so HQ will have no worries in terms of taking that dragon, and as well as getting most of that bottom lane buff, or rather the blue side jungle buffs.
You see now they just push in for that Mountain Drake. Appears to be an easy take, like you mentioned. A lot of control established by AHQ, and they'll get their first dragon of the game. We'll see whether or not we're going to get an Ocean or an Infernal Soul. It's going to be Ocean Soul for our first game of Week 3. Rocky up in top lane. That's the one saving grace here for Nova, as he got himself a 40 CS lead, and he also gets the solo tower there. So Rocky does just doing crocodile things at this point. That's what he likes to do.
Rockadile.
Rockadile? Oh no.
That's the only thing I could think of. Yeah, I'm gonna stop.
Rockadile, okay.
Rockadile. You see it
boy.
now.
I see. Trust me. Oh no, I heard.
You
heard
hear
exactly
it now.
what
Yeah.
you
Okay.
said.
There.
I was just making sure I heard what you said.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Is it really that slow of a game, Riku? Are we going into crocodile puns now?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be frank. It is a pretty slow. Nova,
It is.
Like Nova themselves have been able to practically off Rocky, and I'm a little afraid to see the gold chart because I have a feeling that it's going to be like Rocky at the top, and then it's going to be 3 or 4 members of AHQ on top of each other, and that is worst case scenario actually there for Nova.
I think it's probably. I think the main culprit of all this is probably. Well, I wouldn't say main culprit. Maybe 30%. I think it's the patch changes to turret plating on patch 10.5. So therefore, the usual strategy that we see where you transition your bot lane to the Rift Herald and then you push top side, I think it is not going to be as chaotic anymore during the early game.
You know, lane swap up
No
top
lane
lane
swap
at
anymore.
7 minutes, right when Rift Herald spawns.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a guess because this is going to be our first time seeing patch 10.5 in the PCS. But yeah.
And I think it's the first time we're seeing 10.5 play most places.
Oh, there you go.
Because another thing, too, a little bit weird what happened with PCS is just because of the timing of the patch for and how some of the delays worked out. We played our first week on 10.3.
Oh, yeah.
And then week 2, we were on 10.4. And then, boom, we went straight into patch 10.5 here on this.
It's crazy. It's pretty crazy for the PCS, but looks like that's going to be the second Herald going down as mid lane will fall for Nova Esports. We'll see what the plan is in mind, because again, Nova shines in all of these skirmishes and all of these clashes, and if they don't find that, they're in a pretty awkward spot.
We'll see. G4 has had to come up to this top lane. You know, boy, he's got himself his GLP as well. He's trying to get a couple of his items. We're still waiting on G4 to actually finish off his first item here. He's going to go for the Proto Belts. He ended up rushing Merc Treads immediately, actually, in his build. So there was actually a bit of a spike of power here for AHQ, and they were able to transition that into, of course, the tower in mid lane. Opens up the mid section of the map, especially now toward this bot section. If they really want to start pressuring for, say, Ocean Soul, they can try and just farm up those dragons. Out of that, Nova goes back into a bit of a turtle mode. They do have, you know, a late game misfortune option available to them if they really want to try and make something happen. I think it just comes down to this point, though, of what's your engage on the side of Nova. You're hoping for Rocky to flank. Other than that, it's not a hard engage. You're not going to have, you have a slow from a Trundle Pillar, and you got maybe a stun coming out from the Braum if you're able to land the Winter's Bite. Maybe he tries to flash in with his Fisher, but again, that's still very dangerous.
Well, AHQ does have it makes things twice as hard as well with the Kench in AHQ's team. In terms of flank, it gives them a lot of access with the Abyssal Voyage.
Like, look here, you now see the goal down on the bottom of your screen for all the players. Rocky himself has a 1,400 gold lead on the set right now, on Civ. You take away 1,400 from Nova at the moment, that's close to a 4,000 to 5,000 gold deficit they're facing. Mixcross, sure, he's even in CS, but because of the turret plating, because of the turrets that were, you know, claimed by AHQ, he's down almost a full BF sword as far as value goes. So Nova here have just not been able to really make anything happen. And as we get into this mid game, it kind of becomes a little bit more scary, where AHQ will have these items coming online and they can try and really pressure out this game.
Yeah, HQ pretty much is making the game process or the match even faster. The laning phase is practically almost over. In the meantime, though, for the AHQ, they're pretty solid. They're pretty satisfied with just trying to siege all of these towers from Nova Esports. I mean, that has been their playstyle ever since. But for now, we'll see what Nova decides to do because they're in a ticking time bomb right now. They have to take advantage of Rocky's spike. And if not, I guess probably wait for late game if they can take advantage of probably an outplay. I'm not very sure because there's not a lot of options for engage, just as you mentioned.
Gonna have Rocky. He's gonna run at you really fast and hope you can get the stun.
Yeah.
Or he can find a teleport.
And then get the Trundle pillar up. Hope you can separate key players. But then there's a Waco and Uniboy. Again, these are players that are really hard to catch.
And like they still have the issue is they have to do that twice in a row.
Yeah.
Within about a 5-minute span. Because as long as there's Flash available for HQ, they don't care.
That's
so
true.
they have summoners to burn. And we've seen before, this team isn't one to use their summoners aggressively.
Yeah.
They often just hold them out till fights, until they need to bail out. Nova, on the other hand, I feel like it's more like what we saw from the old Mega, where you're kind of waiting for AHQ to just, you know,
be over aggressive.
Make a mistake.
Yeah.
AHQ, Kong is currently farming like a mad lad right now. He's got more CS in theory than his top laner, Civ, at the moment.
Yes.
Like the Olaf is just going to keep on farming. That's also a damage Olaf, so let's see. Yeah, like it's Rocky up there, but the rest is all AHQ. That's concerning.
It is very difficult.
Especially with how low like Ryan is at the moment. He's almost 2,000 gold down compared to this Olaf.
This is interesting, and I don't think I've seen Ryan this behind in the jungle before. I mean, especially
and it's not
during
like
his
he's
start.
been killed. That's the thing. He hasn't been killed. It's just the Olaf farms faster than him. Ryan's just like, okay, I guess. Because he only just hit level 11. Let's see, G4 in this top lane. He might get doved on. Let's see. Oh, here comes the Kench as well. They're going to bring the squad on over. Parallel Convergence was already used. Now has the time rewind if he has it available. Is able to dodge away from the chain of corruption.
Whoa.
You see the poke coming on through. Here comes Rocky, though, trying to answer. He's exhausted, but it's not enough. G4 gets taken on down. Fisher is used there. HQ, though, back with a re-engage. Civ wanted to get the face breaker. He has to flash away, too. Bullet time also used there. Waco almost gets taken down. Nova, they're very close to trying to equalize the fight, but G4 is the only fatality.
That was very, very close. I thought they could have gotten at least one kill out of that. Especially that was a really nice bullet time. Let's take a look at the replay again. As we see, members of Nova are still quite far away, especially Mixed Cross. And imagine they managed to converge as quickly. And unfortunately, G4 wasn't able to buy some time. He tried to just clear the waves. But Waco will get that last kill. And the rest of HQ are in a really interesting position and where they are okay in terms of just running away. That bullet time, though, was great.
Yeah, I'm going to say Uniboy, actually, I think he didn't realize that G4 got killed. He ended up scattering the weak where his dead body was like a second after. So they didn't actually have that for a disengage. If he actually landed that, that would have been probably a clean disengage. It wouldn't have costed the Varus the flash. So there we go. It's going to be HQ still with the gold lead, as well as the kill lead. But Nova, they were able to find a little, they got a little bit of confidence back, I feel like, after that fight.
But that was the opportunity that they're waiting for. I feel like they will want to try and bait out a little bit more, perhaps, as the tower is still standing, still pretty healthy at top side at the outer tower. But for now, Mixed Cross still has his thumbs up. I think Nova Esports will be ready for the next clash. If
I've
ever.
seen this before. Rocky, he's caught out. It's going to be the unstoppable popped. Axo does not land. Meanwhile, bot lane, G4 is able to secure a tower. So nicely done there for Nova. It is going to be traded back instantly, though, by AHQ. So it's just a trade of towers in top and bot, as well as a little bit of concern there from Rocky. This Olaf can do a decent chunk of damage. This is full damage Olaf. He went Warrior into Black Cleaver, which is a bit disgusting of damage early on.
I mean, he scared Rocky.
Yeah, if you scare Rocky, you're doing something right.
Oh.
That's something there.
Okay, G4 is just gonna do ward.
Yeah, he's just gonna get rid of the ward.
for Nova Esports, they do have the options of trying to split push. It has been their plan B if things don't work out. Especially that's going to be on Rocky's responsibility later.
Well, look at this. Nova have been able to find a little bit of the inside track when it comes to the Dragon area. And it's forced AHQ to have to back off. Let's see, do they try and actually force this back? Ocean Drake will spawn just now. Scatter the Weak connects onto Ryan, but it's not going to be anything else.
Alright, tons of poke here and there. Yeah, let's see who decides to pull the trigger because... Wait, Wacko doesn't have flash, so this might be their opportunity.
He does not have flash. Let's see, though. Nova, that's going to be another stun onto Pop. Dragon has spawned. Look at Civ. Civ's gone for a wide flank. He is caught out by the ward, but Nova are starting to split up at this point, so now they got to be a little bit careful. Scatter the Weak comes through. Ooh, Chains of Corruption just misses there from the Varus. Meanwhile, over toward the side, they got to be careful. That's a decent amount of damage. G4, he might get caught out. Oh, and he gets stunned. He's not able to use his ultimate. And that is AHQ picking up a kill off a little bit of a mistimed mistake there from G4.
Tons of damage, too. They were pushed back. Instead of them starting the fight, being aggressive with Rocky and everybody else, it seemed to me they were poked out. And, I mean, that is...
Rocky.
Uh-oh, Rocky.
That was the wrong way to go there, friend. He's going to get slowed. Uniboy is also over toward the side.
Ooh.
No flash available. Exhaust will be there. He's able to sidestep away the Scatter of the Weak, but the rest of the team is able to just clamp him on down, turn him into a purse, and there we go. AHQ pick up the Drake and 2 kills overall.
This was a really nice flank from Ziv, and because of that, Nova Esports was just practically separated at that point, and that was just a beautifully done poke with a GLP, and Uniboy's like, okay, you're alone, this is perfect. Ugh. Yeah, I couldn't use the...
I think he tried to Proto Belt to get away, but he ended up clipping the wall, so not a whole lot you could do. And yeah, Rocky's just got out. He's got nothing else.
Yeah. And with that, Nova Esports, I wouldn't say failed the second attempt. I mean, that was the opportunity because the next one could potentially be a Baron fight, which is going to be hard at this point. Again, they have to pull the trigger if they really do want to find the fights that they want, or else they're going to either get poked out or be engaged, get engaged by a Scatter the Weak stun from Uniboy. It's tough. It's tough. We did express our concern about what Nova Esports can do in terms of engage. So at that point, again, with AHQ's really, really nice. Okay, Cleanse.
Oh, Cleanse coming out. That is going to be the teleport, though. Oh, meanwhile, huge Scatter of the Weak, and Mixcross is taken down. G4 tries to enter back into the fray, but he just rewinds to his death as Waco is going to be able to pick up the kill. And Nova, that's another misplay coming through as AHQ are able to split them, and that should be the Baron unless Ryan can make a hero play.
I was just about to say that AHQ has just a lot of vision control, so therefore if they do want to try to sneaky play, it's a little bit awkward for Nova Esports to try and fight. HQ, beautifully done. Uniboy even used his flash just to get that stun in. And with Ryan spotted.
Ryan, I don't know if he can get over that wall without dying.
Flash.
Civ is also there. Civ is just going to flash the wall. He's like, come back here, bud. That's going to force Ryan to have to back off. Pop is going to soak up a little bit of damage. Meanwhile, though, the Baron is secured. Here comes the Kench coming in with the showstopper. Rocky gets put down again as Varus is going to be able to land the piercing arrow. And AHQ, they're just hunting for the stragglers at this point.
More KDA. Pop.
Got to get that KDA going.
Uh-huh.
Let's get going. Come on, boys. Pop will go down at the end of this, so. 9-0 the kills go, and that's an 7,000, almost 8,000 gold lead for AHQ.
Yeah, this was interesting. Wacko just walked over, Cleanse used, and then Nova Esports probably wanted to start a fight, or maybe this is a beautifully done stun. So the flash was used for the ult, rather. And unfortunately, Waco hurts. Waco hurts a lot.
Waco hurts a lot. You gotta be a little bit. I love Civ flashing over the wall.
That's
how you assert your dominance in this scenario. You say, Ryan, get the hell out of here. I don't care for you. That's just more collapse. That's just nicely done. especially with the Kench. It's really hard to get away at that point. And yeah, there's not much else to say.
Yeah, HQ this is their element. Like, I feel like I remembered before how slow the games were at patch 10.3, and this is just their style. Like, if they can manage to get a pick off, they will, but they will just keep playing the objective game, and it works well for them. And I thought this could, I mean, the game's not yet over, but it's hard to see Nova Esports try and pick themselves up from this one. And at this point, HQ 6-0 in the current standings. Still showing no signs of weakness, except for that time when they faced Alpha Esports at week 2, I believe. But that was the only time I found them a little bit shaky.
It was the early game, was a little shaky.
Yeah.
All right. Wako, do you get caught out here? That's the thing. He's got a Kench. Kench don't care what you do. And see, they're going to try and go for a full engage. It's going to be the bullet time coming down, but it doesn't do enough damage. Showstopper into the back line. And there comes the rest of the damage out from AHQ. The Kench goes down, but it's too late at this point. 13-1. Ryan might be the next one to fall here. Kongi is not going to be able to catch him either or. AHQ that can push in onto the base. They got double cannon minions as well. That will likely be the game here to start things off on week 3.
HQ with a very clean victory, only giving up 1 kill against their match with Nova Esports. Again, such a powerhouse team with powerhouse lanes. And
Ryan's just being forced off. They're like, we can get Uniboy another kill. We got to help that KDA.
Oh, and again, Uniboy, no deaths, and as well as actually everyone except for Isera.
Yeah, classic support.
Yeah.
Classic support giving over the kill, but congratulations going back on over to AHQ as they take home the victory for our first game of week 3. And yeah, there's not a whole lot to say about that. It was just clean.
It was clean.
It was. I don't get what's up with the Trundle Echo combination. That's twice now. We've kind of seen it not do a whole lot, especially in early game against a Syndra, which if you put down a pillar correctly, you force out the flash every day of the week. We never saw Ryan attempt it.
HQ played the laning phase, right? It was just very clean, and only giving up, or rather only losing 1 dragon in the game. And yeah, it was HQ is scurry. They're 7-0 right now. They're 7-0.
They're scurry.
It's scurry.
They're scurry.
Who will break the curse? Who will finally put that 1 point over the 7? Yeah, I don't know what 7? To say. Over that 7. Like,
are we doing fractions? 1 over 7? Okay.
My math is wrong, but
fine.
yeah.
It's the first. It's
the first game. It is.
First game. For Nova, that's the excuse they gotta be using. Because right now, it just wasn't impactful. It just looked very familiar. It looked almost identical, actually, to how Resurgence played their match against HQ.
That is true. Now that I think about it.
It was just, there wasn't any proactive plays coming out. They're just like, hey, HQ, make a mistake. And then HQ's like, we don't need to make mistakes.
And 1 gank at mid.
1 gank at mid. That's all
yeah,
it took.
that's what happened.
Look back toward the game here. Is Mixed Cross gets caught out. He's got his. But this was a huge stuff from Uniboy.
Beautiful.
Woo!
It's too pretty. Eliminating the AD carry. Actually using everything already. So Cleanse is already used from the earlier chain, I believe, from Waco. And therefore, it was just pretty much open for the taking. Whew, AHQ.
Yeah, there was a slight gold advantage at 1 minute, I think, for Nova. That was pretty much the tail of the game. It's just the AHQ machine.
Pretty scary, pretty scary. Again, all lanes are monsters. All the solo laners are monsters. Bot lane, jungle. Phew. Yeah, Kanye didn't feel any pressure at all because all the lanes were not in trouble. And therefore, he could just spend his time chilling in the jungle and wait for the opportunity later and scare Rocky. The Viking versus the Crocodile, who's scarier?
Yeah, I'll have to say Rocky wasn't able to really transition his lane lead anywhere on the map. That's always been the thing about Rocky. It's kind of driving me crazy now, is Rocky likes to split push.
Yes.
He literally likes to play League of Legends if he's in only 1 lane. That's pretty much what I've understood. That's my understanding here right now.
Oh boy.
Whereas yeah, we just weren't able to see that top lane advantage go anywhere. Ryan, that's a really bad damage stat for a Trundle. I hate to say it. Ysera going to be the one picking up the MVP, though, as he was on the bench, and usually when games there isn't a whole lot of action, give it to the support. Why not? He was able to save the Varus a couple times, save the Syndra once or twice, so nice job going on him and his performance in the first game of the day.
Yep, Suri even assisted with, I think their first tower take, with Vessel Voyage, with Kongyue as well, so Ysera's pretty key into the victory as for AHQ. It's just, I've got nothing else to say for AHQ except that it's hard to find a weakness, like right now, like based from what I'm seeing since week number 1. That's all I can say for now.
Week 1 is just, it's just week 1, you know, a little shaky out there, but early games just come out nicely. I find their macros just really nice and easy to watch. They know exactly what they want to do on the map, and they have a game plan, and they just execute.
Yeah.
No one really comes up to them and says, hey, don't do that. Don't take that dragon. Don't get this coverage. Don't get this lead in a lane. There's just feels like nothing really happens.
Exactly. And you top it off with really good vision control as well. I mean, we did see a few attempts from NOV Esports to be proactive, but because of vision, it was kind of difficult.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take a short break. When we come back, though, it's going to be our second game of the night. J-Team taking on Leap. Don't go anywhere.